You have the right to remain silent. It's one of the most recognizable phrases in American history. And this week marks the 60th anniversary of the landmark Supreme Court ruling that made Miranda rights a permanent part of American policing.
Sean Rice is joining us now with more history on how all of that started here in the Valley back in 1963, the year that Ernesto Miranda claimed that he was not aware of his constitutional rights during an arrest.
It's one of the most recognizable phrases in America.
You have the right to remain silent.
Anything you do or say can be used
against you in a court of law.
You got the right to an attorney.
You cannot afford an attorney.
One will be appointed to me by the court.
Do you understand these rights as I've just read them to you?
Words repeated in police stations, on television, and in movies for generations. But what many people do not realize is that those famous rights trace back to a case that started right here in Phoenix.
The suspect's name was Ernesto Miranda. Ernesto Miranda was arrested and investigated for a kidnapping/sexual assault that occurred within our city.
On March 3rd, 1963, Phoenix police obtained a written confession from Ernesto Miranda, but investigators never advised him of specific constitutional protections we now know as Miranda rights. Phoenix PD Sergeant Vincent Cole says this week is a significant one because the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in June 1966 that law enforcement officers must read these rights to each person they take into custody. 60 years later, they are words many may always think existed.
Prior to the Miranda decision being decided by the Supreme Court, this just wasn't a common thing in law enforcement. One could argue that they originated in this building that we're in right now, because this is where the questioning of Miranda would have occurred.
That building, now the Phoenix Police Museum, where a section of the room is dedicated solely to this case. The detective who investigated Miranda, Carol Cooley's investigative work, helped solve the crime long before modern tools like body cameras, databases, and digital records. As those advances in police work have evolved, the Miranda rights have stood the test of time, playing a vital role in the criminal justice system as we know it.
The last thing we want to do is take somebody or charge somebody that is innocent. And also we want them to be fully knowledgeable of their constitutional rights, and that includes self-incrimination.
In Phoenix, Sean Rice, 12 News.
All right, Sean, thank you.